This was an interview for $1 million-a-month job, but as soon as the candidates received the test paper, they were stunned. The paper was completely blank, with nothing written on it. The candidates were puzzled by this, but didn't dare to speak, because before the test began, the proctor announced 3 strictly forbidden rules. No talking to the proctor or the security guard. No leaving the room. No dirtying or damaging the test paper. Violating any one of these rules would result in disqualification from the test. The answer to this interview test was just one thing.
Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen.
After hearing this, everyone fell silent, since the first rule was not to speak to the proctor. Seeing that no one answered, the proctor started an 80-minute countdown timer and left the testing room. Staring at the blank test paper, no one knew what to do. They had no idea what the test question even was. It seemed that securing this $1 million-a-month job would not be easy. As time ticked away minute by minute, one woman couldn't take it anymore. She thought the company wanted them to write a career report, so she started writing on the paper without hesitation. But before she could even finish her first sentence, the proctor suddenly walked over to her and rudely kicked her out of the testing room. It turned out she had violated the 3rd rule by dirtying the test paper. Seeing the woman eliminated for writing, everyone else quickly put down their pens. Just as everyone was at a loss for what to do, Mark suddenly started laughing. He realized the proctor had only mentioned 3 rules, so as long as they didn't violate those 3 rules, they should be fine. To test his theory, he directly greeted Tom next to him, since the rules only said not to talk to the proctor and security, not the other candidates. Sure enough, the nearby security guard didn't react at all to this. Emboldened, Mark stood up without hesitation and even started walking around the testing room. To his surprise, the security still did not react at all. Seeing that Mark's actions were permitted, the others finally dared to speak, discussing why the test paper was blank. Suddenly, Ellie stood up. She thought the paper might be made of some special material, and the question would be revealed if they shined a light on it. The others thought this made sense, so they also started shining light on their papers, trying to make the question appear. But after some experimentation, nothing changed on the papers. Seeing this, Jack had a sudden realization. Maybe the paper needed a special kind of light to reveal the question, like ultraviolet, infrared, or X-rays. But there were no such lights in the room. Just as everyone was feeling disappointed, Anna noticed what looked like emergency lights installed on the walls. Perhaps those were the lights needed for the paper. To test this idea, Mark immediately smashed all the regular lights. As the room plunged into darkness, the emergency lights on the wall lit up as expected. Excitedly, they grabbed the test papers to try it. But unfortunately, the papers still showed no changes even under the emergency lights. Tom thought maybe they just hadn't found the right color light yet and there might be other lights in the room. Sure enough, observant Susan suddenly noticed another kind of light tube on the wall that hadn't turned on. Realizing this might be the light they needed, they quickly smashed all the emergency lights. The next second, an orange light illuminated the room. But when everyone tried their papers under it, still no question appeared. Only 60 minutes remained in the test now. Mark guessed the paper must be made of some special material, so to test his theory, he grabbed the paper of the woman who had been eliminated earlier and started scribbling on it with a pencil. But after some testing, no question appeared on that paper either. However, Mark still refused to give up. He decided to try liquids next. He tore the paper into 2 pieces, giving one to Jack to test with saliva while he tested the other with urine. But this completely destroyed the whole paper, and still no question appeared. At this point, Mark lost his patience. He thought the company was just messing with them, luring them here with the promise of $1 million monthly salary just to play a prank on them. But Susan disagreed. She had researched this company beforehand and was sure they would never waste time on something so silly. This company valued efficiency immensely and was in urgent need of talent right now. There was no way this interview test wasn't real.